Are you skipping sweet treats to reduce your sugar intake? I give you an A for effort, but you're probably still eating more sugar than you realize. How's that possible? Because sugar is in many more foods than you may think. Today, we'll review which foods have hidden sugars and are dangerous if you have diabetes, and how to avoid them in the best way possible. Before we start, my name is Nick, and I'm here to answer all your questions about diabetes and nutrition. I'll try to make it as easy as possible for you, so let's get started. First of all, what you need to know is that hidden sugars are added sugars, disguised with less well-known names. The tricky part is that they can be found in products you wouldn't even expect. Some foods people would consider healthy may actually have a lot of hidden sugar in them. So let's go through these surprising foods one by one. Number 1, breakfast cereals. Just because the front of the box says whole grain or with vitamins and minerals doesn't mean there's no sugar. And we all know that kids' cereal is really high in added sugars, but granola, oat, corn, and bran cereals have 10 to 20 grams or more of sugar per cup. Surprised? Same here. My tip here, always check the ingredients label and choose a cereal with 10 to 12 grams or less of sugar per serving. Also, when reading the label, remember that 4 grams of sugar equal 1 teaspoon. Number 2, yogurt. Most of us like flavored yogurt, right? If you have some of it in your house right now, go check its food label. I bet you'll be shocked at the amount of sugar you're eating. A small cup contains around 4 teaspoons of sugar, and if there are some extra additives, the number goes even higher. Now my tip here, try to buy plain yogurt and add some fruits of your choice. Number 3, sauces, salad dressings, and other condiments. We all like that extra kick in our food, but keep in mind that this kick might be full of hidden sugar. Ketchup, barbecue sauce, teriyaki sauce, salad dressings, they're all loaded with sugar, and some of them don't even taste sweet, right? So my tip here is quite simple. Try to make your own homemade sauces or salad dressings. I promise that it won't take a lot of your time, and it will be way healthier. Number 4, sports drinks. Well, these can often be mistaken as a healthy choice for those who exercise, but don't get tricked, okay? Sports drinks are made to hydrate and fuel athletes' bodies during prolonged workouts. For this reason, they contain high amounts of added sugars that can be quickly absorbed and used for energy. Now my tip here, stick to water, not only when you're exercising, but on a daily basis. Number 5, pre-made soup. I guess that most of you wouldn't generally associate soup with sugar, right? Well, when it's homemade, then it's a really great, healthy choice. However, many pre-made soups have a lot of hidden sugar. My tip here, always check the label. And if you see such names as sucrose, barley malt, or maltose, put the pack back on the shelf. Okay guys, I know that's a lot of info to handle, but we're not done yet. Before we move forward, hit that subscribe button on the Klinio channel. It's sugar-free, I promise. Now let's move forward. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I will give you some tips on how to avoid hidden sugars in the best way possible. No need to worry here. Simple changes can dramatically reduce the amount of sugar in your diet. Just follow these simple steps. Step number 1, always check food labels. That's the best way to understand how much sugar is in each product. There are a bunch of names for added sugar, so I put them on this list. The ingredients of the product are listed by quantity, from highest to lowest amount. For example, if corn syrup is listed in the first few ingredients, the product you're buying will contain a high amount of it. Step number 2, replace hidden sugar products with more natural options. Instead of sweets, cakes, and biscuits, choose healthier snacks such as unsweetened yogurts, unsalted nuts, seeds, fruits, and vegetables. Also, if you normally have sugary drinks, I'd recommend replacing them with water and then flavoring it with mint or sliced lemon. I know, it may be hard at first, but at least do that for your own health benefits. Step number 3, try to cook from scratch at home when possible. Although some recipes may still need added sugar, you'll still end up using far less of it than any food company. Experiment with seasonings. Instead of putting that extra kick with sauces, add more natural vegetables to your dishes, or grab some yogurt with added fruits for dessert. There are plenty of options for you here, and if you follow these simple steps, you'll notice great changes in your health. When you have diabetes, eating very specific foods can have a negative impact on your body, including weight gain, inflammation, and high blood sugar levels. So today let's talk food, or specifically, which 8 foods you should avoid when you have diabetes or pre-diabetes. Are you ready? Let's get started. And before we start, my name is Nick, and I'm here to make your diabetes journey less bumpy along the way. Now hit that subscribe button on the Klinio channel. More videos are yet to come. Okay, so let's head to our list of foods that are a big no-no for diabetes. Number 1 on the list is trans fats. Trans fats are unsaturated fats that have been chemically altered to increase their stability. Trans fats are found in margarine, peanut butter, baked goods, spreads, creamers, and frozen dinners. Also, trans fats are often added to products to extend their shelf life. Now, to avoid trans fats, it's important to read labels carefully. Don't eat foods that have any partially hydrogenated items on the ingredients list. And keep in mind that food companies can list 0 grams if it contains less than half a gram of trans fat per serving. This means that your food may have trans fats even if the nutrition label says 0. So the best thing you can do is reduce the number of processed foods in your diet. Number 2, French fries. Those crispy fries are not only high in carbs that raise blood sugar levels, but they're also fried in unhealthy oils that may promote inflammation and increase the risk of heart disease. Potatoes themselves are already high in carbs. A medium white potato contains approximately 169 calories and 37 grams of carbs, while a medium-sized serving of fast food French fries has 427 calories and 56 grams of carbs. That's a lot. However, if you don't want to avoid potatoes completely, eating a small serving of sweet potatoes would be your best option. Number 3 is white carbs. White bread, white rice, and pasta should all be avoided if you have diabetes. These refined carbs are not only processed and have no nutritional value, but they significantly increase blood sugar levels in people with diabetes. I strongly recommend replacing white carbs with whole grains, such as brown or wild rice, barley, oatmeal, and whole grain bread. These carbs break down more slowly and are extremely healthy and have a less dramatic effect on your blood sugar. Now before moving on to another food on our list, check the link below this video for a 60-second quiz to evaluate the state of your diabetes health. I'll put the link in the description, so don't forget to check it out. Okay, so number 4 on the list is breakfast cereals. Surprise, surprise! Eating breakfast cereal first thing in the morning might be the worst choice when you have diabetes. Now, you might say, but the front package says whole grain and with vitamins and minerals. Sad news for you, health claims on the boxes are often misleading. Most cereals are highly processed and high in added sugar. So, instead of sugary cereals, choose a protein-based low-carb breakfast. Number 5 is sugary drinks. I'll put it simply once and for all. Sugary beverages such as soda, Coke, iced tea, or energy drinks are the worst drink choices for people with diabetes. Firstly, they're very high in carbs, rapidly increasing blood sugar. For example, a can of cola has around 39 grams of sugar. Now think about it. There are 4.2 grams of sugar in a single teaspoon. Now imagine scooping up 10 teaspoons full of sugar and dumping it into your 12-ounce glass of water. That doesn't sound like a healthy drink, right? Also, sugary drinks are loaded with fructose. High fructose content is linked to insulin resistance, high cholesterol, and obesity. So instead of consuming such beverages, try switching to plain water with lemon or different berries and fruits to enjoy the natural sweetness. Number 6 on today's list is packaged snacks. Okay, when you feel hungry in between your meals, the easiest option is to grab some pretzels, chips, or crackers. However, even though you'll feel satiated, these aren't good snack choices. Why? Because they have plenty of fast digesting carbs that can raise blood sugar in no time. Plus, they're highly processed. If you're still not convinced, here's an interesting fact. Some packaged snacks may contain even more carbs than stated on their nutrition label. For example, one study found that snack foods provide around 7.7% more carbs than the label states. So, if you get hungry in between meals, replace packaged snacks with low-carb vegetables or a handful of nuts. Number 7, flavored yogurt. While simple, unsweetened yogurt is a great option for people with diabetes, flavored ones are a completely different story. A small cup contains around 4 teaspoons of sugar. And if there are some additives, the number goes even higher. To avoid blood sugar spikes after eating flavored yogurt, try switching to plain whole milk yogurt with no added sugar. If you want some extra zing, add some fruit of your choice. All right, number 8, fruit juice. Just like flavored yogurt, fruit juice is often considered a healthy option. However, its effects on blood sugar spikes are similar to other sugary drinks such as Coke and energy drinks. And in some cases, fruit juice is even higher in sugar and carbs than any other sugary drink. As a general rule, eating whole fruit is healthier than drinking fruit juice or fruit smoothies. For example, a 250 milliliter glass of unsweetened orange juice typically contains around 100 calories, while an actual orange, only 60 calories. Again, the best alternative is to drink water with a slice of lemon, which has less than 1 gram of carbs and is calorie-free. Did you know that the average American eats about 17 teaspoons of sugar a day? And that's not that they're eating it straight from the jar. They're actually getting it from foods that contain processed sugar. By the way, my name is Nick, and today I'll give you 5 essential steps on how to cut down on processed sugar. And watch till the end, I have very important information for you. Okay, so let's very briefly talk about why you should quit consuming processed, also known as refined sugar, in the first place. Such sugar is typically added to a wide range of foods and drinks to improve their taste. They're commonly used in packaged products, such as crackers, cakes, or salad dressings, all of which are heavily processed and low in nutrients. Refined sugars can increase your risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease, or worsen your diabetes condition. So it's really important to limit them as much as possible. All right, so let's see what steps you should take to cut down on processed sugar. Step 1, rethink your drinks. For many people, sugary beverages can be one of the biggest sources of processed sugar intake. And don't be surprised here. For example, a 12-ounce can of soda contains 8 teaspoons of added sugar. So no matter if you're sipping iced coffee, cola, or some energy drink, you're taking in a large amount of processed sugar. Also, drinks that you may consider healthy, such as smoothies and fruit juices, can still contain astounding amounts of it. The worst thing about sweetened beverages is that your body doesn't recognize calories from them in the same way as those from food. Calories from drinks are absorbed quickly, resulting in a rapid increase in your blood sugar level. So I highly recommend choosing water instead of sugary beverages. Look, you can always add lemons, cucumbers, and strawberries to add some extra flavor. And you can also switch to other options, such as unsweetened sparkling water, herbal teas, black or green tea, or black coffee. Step 2, try to cook from scratch. I know that for most of you, frozen meals are great time savers, but they are full of salt, preservatives, and of course, processed sugars. So try to cook at home when it's possible. Some recipes may need some added sugar, but you'll still end up using far less of it than any food company. Choose whole foods. Experiment with seasonings instead of using pre-made sauces. Add natural, fresh vegetables to your dishes, and grab some natural yogurt with added fruits for dessert. Now, there are plenty of options for you here. I know, it may be challenging at first, but let's give it a try, right? Okay, step 2.5, get the Klinio app. Klinio Diabetes Management app offers a personalized meal plan that covers your caloric intake, macronutrient composition, and the amount of sugar and cholesterol you need to consume. Klinio has loads of other amazing features, such as a progress tracker, workouts, and even a simplified grocery list. Really, I have never seen something similar to this app. I'll put the link to the Klinio app in the description below, so definitely check it out. Okay, step number 3. Don't cut all processed sugar immediately. Do it step by step. For example, you can start cutting out sugary beverages, limiting sugary desserts after a week, and so on. Also, if you usually enjoy your coffee with 2 tablespoons of sugar, try reducing it to 1 tablespoon. Or if you're baking treats like cookies, brownies, or cakes, cut the sugar by just 1/3 or even 1/2. Often you won't be able to notice the difference. So remember, cut processed sugar step by step. Doing too many things at once can lead to burnout and ultimately failure. If you want to reduce your sugar intake, pick one thing and commit to it for 1 to 2 weeks. Once it becomes a habit, pick another one. Keep the cycle going until you've reached your sugar intake goal. Step number 4, read the food labels. That is the best way to understand how much sugar is in each product. There are a bunch of names for processed sugar, so I put them on this list. The product's ingredients are listed by quantity, from highest to lowest amount. For example, if corn syrup is listed in the first few ingredients, the product you're buying will contain a high portion of it. So it's always a good idea to be mindful when eating, especially when decreasing processed sugar intake. Some food labels may break down sugar into total sugars and added sugars. It's best to try to find products with little or no added sugars. When in doubt, always try to eat fresh. All right, step number 5, add more fruits to your diet. Do you often add syrup, brown sugar, or chocolate chips into oatmeal or yogurt to make it sweeter? Make the change by adding some fruits or berries to sweeten your meal without adding processed sugar. The sugar found in fruits is a great way to add that extra zing to your dishes and satisfy your sweet tooth. Also, you can use fruits not only for desserts. Add fruit salsas and chutneys to grilled or roasted meats, poultry, and fish. However, you should watch the fruit portions since natural sugar is still sugar. If you're diagnosed with diabetes and only care about supplements that actually work, then this is a video you want to watch, because in the next few minutes, I'll give you a list of the top 7 vitamins and minerals proven to boost insulin sensitivity and lower blood glucose levels. When you make sure you're not deficient in the following nutrients, you'll unlock entirely new levels of energy you didn't know you had. Your mood will be brighter, you'll sleep soundly, and you'll feel more in control of your blood sugar readings. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so vitamin D is the first vitamin on our list. It's found in most people's homes due to its immune benefits, but recent studies show it's even more beneficial for people with diabetes. Vitamin D helps lower inflammation in the body, which can often lead to insulin resistance. Now, studies show that vitamin D deficiency can slow down insulin secretion and is linked to both types of diabetes. So how much of it is enough? Well, according to the National Institutes of Health, the safe upper limit is 4,000 IU daily for those aged 9 years and older. And the good news is that getting enough of the sunshine vitamin can be as easy as spending 10 to 30 minutes in the midday sun. To further boost your intake, try eating more fortified food, such as oily fish, fish liver oil, and egg yolks. The next vitamin on our list is vitamin B1, or thiamine. It's a water-soluble vitamin most diabetics are deficient in. A 2007 study found that type 1 and 2 diabetics had respectively 76 and 75% lower blood plasma thiamine levels. Symptoms of vitamin B1 deficiency include fatigue, irritability, lack of appetite, and diabetic neuropathy. Health experts usually recommend more than 4 milligrams a day of vitamin B1. Also, to avoid its deficiency, consider taking a quality B complex supplement. Yeast, pork, legume, and cereal grains are also good sources of vitamin B1. Now, the third vitamin on our top list is vitamin E. It's a fat-soluble vitamin that is really important to your vision, brain, and skin. But did you know it can also directly help you regulate your blood sugar? And due to its powerful antioxidant properties, vitamin E cuts down on the risk of diabetic complications as well. Now, doctors recommend an intake of about 7 to 11 milligrams of vitamin E per day. This is also easily reachable via foods like almonds, nut butter, avocado, sunflower seeds, fresh salmon, and hazelnuts. Okay, now let's head to vitamin B12, or cobalamin. That's another vitamin that people with diabetes are often deficient in. A 2009 study found that 22% of people with type 2 diabetes were low in vitamin B12. This is likely due to the use of blood sugar lowering medicine. Now, vitamin B12 deficiency is dangerous and can lead to nerve pain and diabetic neuropathy. The recommended daily allowance of vitamin B12 for adults is 2.4 micrograms. This important vitamin is found in meat, fish, poultry, and dairy products, as well as any quality vitamin B complex supplement. And since it's exclusively found in animal sources of food, Vegans and vegetarians should be supplementing to meet their daily quota. Now, let's move to essential minerals that you need to pay attention to. The very first one is magnesium. Popular both as a sleep and workout recovery aid, magnesium can also directly influence your insulin sensitivity. It works by helping your body release insulin and aiding cells to use it more effectively. A 12-week study of 54 type 2 diabetics revealed that taking 300 milligrams of magnesium daily significantly reduced fasting and post-meal blood sugar levels when compared to taking a placebo. So, how much magnesium is enough? Well, 250 to 350 milligrams per day is the sweet spot for most people with diabetes. Also, there are foods rich in magnesium. These include greens such as kale, spinach, and collard greens, avocados, and nuts like cashews, almonds, and Brazil nuts. Let's move on to the next mineral, which is chromium. It works by stimulating the metabolic action of insulin. According to research, type 2 diabetics have lower chromium levels in their blood than those who don't have the condition. Chromium levels also decrease with age, and since our bodies don't produce it naturally, you need to include it in your diet. Natural sources of chromium are broccoli, liver, and brewer's yeast. Aim for 200 to 1,000 micrograms of chromium picolinate a day if you want it as a supplement. The next one on the list is selenium. It's an essential mineral, which means you can only get it through diet or supplements. The good news is that just a small dose is enough for people with diabetes to see the benefits. Now, research showed that a daily intake of 200 micrograms of selenium dramatically reduced blood sugar levels, HbA1c, cholesterol, and LDL after both 3 and 6 months of supplementation. The recommended daily allowance of selenium is 55 micrograms daily, with the safe upper limit being 400 micrograms. Now, by the way, interesting fact, Brazil nuts are so rich in selenium, even a single nut provides enough of it to meet the daily requirement of a human adult. Other sources include oysters, halibut, eggs, sardines, sunflower seeds, and chicken breast. All right, guys, as you can see, there's more than one way to help your body make better use of glucose. And making sure you don't have any vitamin or mineral deficiencies is one of them. This doesn't mean you should be taking 10 different pills every day. In fact, it can be as easy as having more of the foods I mentioned and supplementing here and there when necessary. Hey everyone, it's Nick again, and today let's talk about vitamin B12 and diabetes. There are some very specific things about them many people don't know about. So let's reveal that today while talking about why you may have vitamin B12 deficiency when you have diabetes. What are the main symptoms of such deficiency, and what can you do about it? Let's get into it. All right, why am I paying such close attention to this specific B12 vitamin? First of all, it's because an essential nutrient that helps your body create DNA and make healthy red blood cells, as well as nourishes the brain and nervous system. Secondly, B12 is a vitamin that people with diabetes are often deficient in. A 2009 study found that 22% of people with type 2 diabetes were low in vitamin B12. And that's highly prevalent among people with type 1 diabetes as well. But why does that happen? Well, it's most likely due to the use of blood sugar lowering medication, such as metformin. The risk of low vitamin B12 levels increases with its higher dose, longer treatment duration, and if the person with diabetes has risk factors for vitamin B12 deficiency. So, how to understand if you're deficient in vitamin B12 and what are the main symptoms? Now, take a closer look at this list. Here you can see the main symptoms that say you have vitamin B12 deficiency. If you experience such symptoms in your everyday life, this will help you avoid more serious complications that appear when your B12 levels are very low. Such complications include the loss of taste and smell, irregular heartbeat, and shortness of breath or anemia, meaning you lack enough healthy red blood cells to carry oxygen to your body tissues. Now, before moving forward to even more important points about diabetes and vitamin B12, hit that subscribe button on the Klinio channel. We are here to give you all the needed information about diabetes and its management. And I promise, we make difficult things easy to understand. Let's move forward. So how is vitamin B12 deficiency diagnosed? If you have symptoms of vitamin B12 deficiency, see your doctor right away. Just a simple blood test can determine if you are low in B12. When you have diabetes, your doctor will probably need to evaluate you more carefully, including physical examination and checking your blood glucose levels. However, there are some things you can do to maintain stable vitamin B12 levels without reaching deficiency. The thing is, your body doesn't make this vitamin itself, so you have to get it from animal-based foods or supplements. So you should include more meat, fish, poultry, eggs, and dairy products into your diet. There are also some foods that may be fortified with vitamin B12, including cereal, bread, or tofu. The recommended daily intake of vitamin B12 for adults is 2.4 micrograms. Now, your doctor may also advise you take oral vitamin B12 supplements or give you injections if you're severely deficient. For many people, breakfast is the most neglected meal of the day. However, when you have diabetes, that's really not a great option. Having a proper breakfast is a must. Want to know why and what morning meal options are the best when you have diabetes? Then keep watching this video. I got you covered. Okay, why is it important for people with diabetes to eat breakfast? Well, when you have diabetes, your blood sugar can get out of control. That's why it's important to make sure you don't go hungry for too long, which will lower blood sugar levels, leave you shaky, and later on may result in overeating. So remember, the first meal of the day sets the tone for how you'll feel as the day progresses. So, is it okay for people with diabetes to skip breakfast? The answer is clear and simple. No, it's not okay. What is the best breakfast for a person with diabetes to eat? Well, now that we're clear that breakfast should ideally not be skipped, let's talk about what's the best breakfast option for people with diabetes. Now, the answer to this lies in the kind of diet you and your healthcare team have chosen. There are a number of diets that work well for diabetes patients, those with or those prone to hypertension or heart-related conditions. So the best breakfast foods for diabetes can be found within specific diets. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean you need to go on these diets. These are only the breakfast options and inspirations from them that are healthy and really good for people with diabetes. So breakfast option number 1 is from the so-called DASH diet. If you've never heard about it, the DASH diet, or the Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, primarily deals with lowering or managing hypertension. So it's also extremely beneficial for people with both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Firstly, include eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, at least half a plate per meal, mainly because they contain potassium, which helps control blood pressure. Secondly, include foods that are rich in calcium. It's very important for blood vessel health, enabling the vessels to function normally and maintaining healthy blood pressure. Calcium is found in dairy, eggs, fish, yogurt, tofu, or spinach. Thirdly, try to keep sodium intake levels low at around 2.3 grams per day. When you cook at home, try using low sodium salt, and when you go out to eat, look for the nutrients list for each menu item before ordering, or simply ask for low salt and low fat dishes. Now, to make it easier for you, I have a few DASH diet breakfast examples to help get you started. Example number 1, wild mushroom oatmeal with herbs. This dish is a savory and robust meal with eggs, wild mushrooms, scallions, lemon juice, pepper, rosemary, olive oil, and a dash of low sodium sea salt. Example number 2, grilled banana split fruit salad. Mix that salad together with raspberries, Greek yogurt, pineapple chunks, strawberries, almonds, and a dash of semi-sweet dark chocolate. This dish is packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals to fuel your day. Example number 3 is scrambled eggs, spinach, mushrooms, and feta cheese. This recipe can be amped up with more fresh veggies like tomatoes, olives, bell peppers, or onions for a flavor-filled breakfast. Okay, before moving forward, check the link below this video where you'll find an amazing tool for managing diabetes. You definitely need to check it out. Now let's move on to breakfast option number 2, which is from the keto diet. With the keto diet, you limit carb intake to a minimum and increase fat intake. So what do you need to keep in mind with this eating pattern? Well, you need to have less than 20 grams of carbs per meal, increase proteins to at least 10 grams, and add in good fats. Here are some great keto-inspired breakfast examples. Example number 1, egg muffins with lean turkey bacon. Yeah, you can have eggs for breakfast, only with the exception that you don't eat them every single day. Some studies say you can have 2 eggs a day, 3 to 6 days a week, while some studies recommend limiting egg consumption to 1 a day, 3 to 4 days a week. Now, whatever you choose, keep to your physician recommended diet to stay healthy. Example number 2, salmon and cream cheese wrap. Fish is an amazing source of proteins and healthy fats like omega-3 fatty acids. These are super good for maintaining your heart health. Cream cheese is the healthier alternative to cheese and mayo. Example number 3, chocolate chia seed pudding with almond milk. This simple breakfast meal is packed with fiber, antioxidants, and nutrients with the creamy goodness of cocoa. And it only contains 0.2 grams of sugar and carbs. Okay. Now, breakfast option number 3 is from the Mediterranean diet. This diet is based on eating as much fresh and seasonal produce as possible. This includes whole grains such as barley or wheat and heart-healthy oils such as olive oil, fruits, veggies, and nuts. The Mediterranean diet calls for a wide range of natural and healthy taste enhancers such as lemon juice, garlic, salt-free herbs, and spices. For me personally, it couldn't be better. Here are a few Mediterranean breakfast examples. Example number 1 is maple granola. Mix oats with maple syrup, pecans, or your favorite mix of nuts and add a dash of cinnamon. This can be enjoyed as is or with a banana, milk, or yogurt. Top it off with raspberries, blueberries, or strawberries for an extra burst of vitamins and flavor, and you're good to go. Example number 2 is apple cinnamon chia pudding. Soak chia seeds in almond milk and top with apple, cinnamon, and pecans. That makes for a super healthy start to your day. And example number 3, multigrain Mediterranean sandwich. Make it with low-carb multigrain bread by adding spinach, eggs, tomatoes, and low-fat feta cheese. Season it with rosemary and olive oil. And there you go. You have a hearty and satisfying breakfast meal. So all in all, whether you're cooking your own breakfast or grabbing a bite before work, make sure to keep your chosen breakfast option, and you'll be good to go. Now, go check out these other videos on the Klinio channel, and see you next time.